I loved you and Bez tormenting Ginge to give in to the temptation. I don't even remember doing that. That whole week felt like a fever dream. Whole week. Do I know how the stats compare to TV? I don't have a confirmation. I have rough numbers, but I don't have a confirmation. But I think we've done really well. I think we scared a lot of people in TV. I want to ask what you lot think about fan voting. I don't think it would work well, but I want to see why you lot think it would work well. We don't have enough context. Bang on. I'm surprised so many of you people are saying no to fan voting, because I see a lot of people saying, oh, the voting needs to change. It needs to be fan voting. Well, if it was fan voting, eliminations would have been completely different so far. For sure. It's more drama when the contestants vote, for sure as well. Do you know what it is, yeah? It's because we pre-shot everything. So fan voting is impossible when you've pre-shot it, because you can't see what's going on. It'll be a popularity contest, that too. Fan voting will just make it biased. Yeah, for the first series, we had to kind of pre-record it because that was what worked best for schedules. And it allowed us to have a bit more control of the overall show. Yeah, imagine Kai Snat shouting out Phantom, he'd win by far. Yeah. Maybe there is potential for a mix if we were to do it live, but it's a logistical nightmare doing it live. I don't know if we're at that place yet where we can execute that. Kai's loving the show too. Good. The positive of having influencers in the house as opposed to non-influencers is that they are all in some capacity already accustomed to dealing with hate from strangers. It's a very dangerous thing to take someone that has never been in the public eye and never handled that kind of pressure and put them in this environment where all of a sudden hundreds of thousands of people are watching and judging you. Like, it's a lot, like mentally a lot. And I don't feel like people realize that it would, like, God forbid someone was to come on there and receive all that pressure. Imagine, yeah, because I feel like Manrika's dealt with her hate quite well. She's kind of acknowledged her mistake and also kind of made jokes about the situation and made light of it. I don't think a normal person handles the hate that she is getting in the same way. I don't think they do. I think it ends up very, very badly. Why is she getting hate? Because she's getting hate because she made an out-of-pocket comment to someone that she didn't know well, to someone who didn't know her well and wasn't comfortable with her, or that kind of joke, and in front of people that didn't know either of them well. Imagine being in, and I'm not justifying the hate. I can say I can see why people are angry with her. I'm not justifying the hate, but I can see why people are angry and frustrated with her. And her apology was stinky. Her next apology to Joe, which I think is shown on Sire Plus, much better. They clear it out. They squash the beef. They're all good. And then I think she did a TikTok as well that dealt with it. It's not about the joke, it's how you act afterwards. For sure. I understand that. But yeah, imagine you're in a room full of new people and one of them randomly decides to make a comment like that. You don't know this person, you would feel some type of way too. So Joe is very justified in his reaction, I think. Joe is very noble in how he dealt with it. And I think it's just weird for people to be like, oh, Joe dealt with it so well, so you know how to deal with it, but then you go and then start doing the complete opposite when you weren't even directly involved in the incident itself. I think that's a little bit weird. I do understand people's frustration. I do think it was out of pocket and the apology was shit. However, if the circumstances were different, I don't think a lot of people get mad at that comment. I know if Harry made that joke, people wouldn't get mad at that comment. If Harry made that joke towards me, no one would say it's out of pocket. However, it's different because Harry knows me and whoever he made that joke in front of would probably know me too. You thought the UK Dons were cold-hearted like Aussies? You guys are friends for like 10 years. So this is what I'm saying. This is why Manrika, I know she didn't think about it. This is why she shouldn't have done it. I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's the joke that people are getting mad at. It's more so the reaction. Like, clearly when someone is upset with something you've done in that kind of situation, it's not a case of you should go and say, oh, I'm sorry that you were offended by what I did. You have to look inwards and deal with it. If Simon did it, he would get hate for sure. I do think there are some people that just didn't like Manrika beforehand and were looking for anything to jump on. I do think that too, but she did not help herself. Yeah, the one thing I will ask you lot all to remember is that everything is for entertainment. Everyone in the house is all good. And if anything serious was done, which it wasn't. But if anything serious was done, it would be dealt with properly. You can be annoyed by people's actions, you can be frustrated by people's actions, but I would really, really strongly recommend and ask that you don't take things to heart so much and you don't personally attack people. Besides the criticism, how do you think the project will impact future Sidemen? Has it opened a new visual field of what Sidemen might become, and how are you and the boys feeling about it? I think the boys are all very proud of what we've managed to achieve, especially given the turnaround. It's like a 7-month turnaround total. We're very happy with how the public has received it. We're happy with the virality of it. And yeah, I think we're happy because we enjoy watching it. Like, we were all watching it like basically 24/7, but are still invested in watching it live with you guys again as we premiere it on More Sidemen or the Sidemen channel. So that shows how good and entertaining it is. Fan voting will just be a popularity contest, and please never do rock, paper. Okay, right. Listen, I need to clear my name on the rock, paper, scissors shit. I need to clear my name. So what you need to know is that as the series was going on, obviously the boys are watching from home during the challenges and were having input onto how we executed certain things. We had an initial structure for how we wanted the challenges and eliminations to go, but as you're doing it, and it happens in all Sidemen YouTube videos, you think, what is the most random dramatic thing for the audience? What will make people go, ah? And the boys voted that rock, paper, scissors should be the decider. It's a Sidemen classic, and that's what they voted for. It's also good because it doesn't slow down the series by sending everyone to vote again. You think it's a dumb decision? You're entitled to that opinion. But listen, at the end of the day, you're here talking about it, so it means we got it right. There's a load of things we could have done. But people think that was all my idea. I can go through the chat and get you the receipts of everyone saying do rock, paper, scissors, particularly JJ. Revote would have been better. There's 7 people voting and then it's a guaranteed elimination. What was the other options? I actually can't remember what they were. Sure, you need to get rules that people can't sabotage the money, bruv. Listen, whatever makes the content, man. I will say lessons have definitely been learned, and there's definitely things that we would do better. There's definitely things that we could and would do better if there was to be another season. If the rock, paper, scissors was between 2 different people and not Leah, people wouldn't care. For sure. Listen, you can't be mad at people for wanting their favorites to stay in or their favorites to win. That is what invests people in the series. So I understand it. But I will say the decisions that we took as a group, we felt would be best for the audience overall, not for individuals who want their favorite to win. We wanted to keep things fair and authentic, and that's why we executed things the way we did. Whanham for the win. Phantom's been, Phantom had a slow first 2 days, and even in his slow days, he actually did more than I thought he did. But obviously he was jet lagged, and I don't know if you don't know, but he's dealing with hay fever, like seriously, in the whole series. So he kind of warmed into it. I think Ginge was super quiet first day, like super quiet, like looked a little bit out of his comfort zone, but he warmed into it as well. You can tell because his nose is blocked. Oh my gosh, when he snotted on the table, I didn't even realize for ages. Did I hear all of Steven's voiceovers already? No, I hear them in the live episode. When he snotted on the table, I didn't realize for ages. I was like, why is this dude hiding under the table? Like, we're trying to shoot a challenge. And then they pointed it out, and I was like, oh my God. Have you thought about doing inside for Side Plus members, maybe a smaller prize? Like I said, it's difficult because of the mental health thing and exposure to the public. It's difficult because of the entertainment factor. You can't guarantee entertainment and you have to fabricate it, and then people feel a type of way about being made to do things that they haven't chosen to do. It's also difficult because when we've done previous videos that involve viewers or supporters or fans, whatever you want to call them, it hasn't really gone well. I don't want to talk about fan challenges. There's forever a blemish on my Sidemen CV. Who came up with the idea for Inside originally? I think it was JJ mainly. He was the main advocate for it, but we did formulate it on a side cast about 7-8 months ago or something like that. Whose idea was it to premiere the show? I think I might have said it. I can't remember. I don't want to take credit for it because I don't know if I said it. I think we said it in the office about premiering it, and then I think JJ was probably the strongest advocate for it because he was like, the live stuff will create hype and we'll have live engagement and blah blah blah, and I think it was a great idea. Most of the silent library was cut out, for fuck's sake. Yeah, because you can't drag the episode on challenges, you know what I mean? Steven's Kobe joke was crazy. Me, not particularly a fan of that one. I love Kobe, I hate helicopters, and I hate what happened. But Phantom was probably embarrassing if I saw the snot. I don't know what I would have done if I snotted like that. Consider Sam Ham for season 2. Sam, you gotta get your stock up. Get your stock up and you could be in the mix. I don't know what size content creators will go for next time, to be fair. There is a chance. Premiere is a W. It's a feature that's not really utilized on YouTube that much. And we've toyed around with the idea of doing it on Sidemen Sundays before, but we didn't know how it would affect things algorithmically, and we didn't want to risk ruining the success of a Sidemen Sunday. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of mentality, do you know what I mean? But this was a new concept, new idea, and we know the kind of live stuff works for this kind of concept because of how you see people like live react to Love Island together and other TV shows and blah, blah, blah. So we're like, if there's any time to try it, it's now. Someone else asked me about Danny, and I was like, Danny's just been on Foot Asylum Locked In. It would feel like too much of a copy-paste thing. Also, let me talk about the Foot Asylum Locked In thing, because people are saying it's a copy-paste. It's not. Also, Foot Asylum Locked In is a copy-paste of Big Brother, if you want to do that. This is two concepts merged together. In my opinion, it's like, what's that show? Too Hot to Handle merged with Big Brother. That's what I feel like it. If two shows were to have a child and it was inside, it would be those two shows. Less UK YouTubers. I think it was a big W that we got two content creators from outside the country. Was the ping pong fiasco with Niffa exaggerated or not? It looked like it hit her in the eye, but Jen said it was over dramatized. It did hit her in the eye, and I was a little bit worried at that point. We did check on her and make sure that she was all fine. Like, we had medics on set all day to make sure that if anything did go wrong, like, people were looked after. So it was checked and she was fine. I don't think it was over dramatized. I think what you see is what you get, basically. It's not like she was fuming at him, and he was very sorry straight away. So it's not a big deal again. It's too hot to handle without the shagging. I think that's another good thing about Inside. It's not based around relationships or sex. I think that's another thing that kind of sets it apart from a lot of other reality shows nowadays. I think it's going to be very difficult to cast season 2. I think we did really well with the cast for season 1, personally. Not to blow my own trumpet, but I think it's giving you everything you want. It's giving you entertainment. It's giving you drama. It's giving you people to root for. It's giving you villains. Like, I think you need more people that care about the money, to be honest. I think there was a good enough mix. Listen, at the end of the day, if no spending is happening, then there's no drama in the series. You think you should do 2 weeks next time? Don't think 7 days is long enough? I hear it, but I also don't hear it. Everything that you lot are thinking of, we've weighed up. For the turnaround time, like, this has all been turned around in the space of a week. So that's why you should allow us on like little mistakes and stuff. For the turnaround time, 2 weeks worth of content is too much. This is all shot very, very high quality. Like, the setup for this shoot was crazy. And there's already so much content that we're missing because it's 24/7. The 24/7 shooting kind of counteracts the shooting for 2 weeks element. So if it's a case of you want 12-hour shoots and across 2 weeks, maybe that's something that we could explore. The issue with that is, speaking to the reality TV people, the people that have done this over and over and over again, the best stuff happens off camera. What do you mean set camera model? You talking like security camera model? Because that's just how they shoot all these reality TV shows. Those are the cameras they have everywhere. And it's the cleanest way to do it without having, like, you know, people on set. Zenith, I hear what you're saying. That was thought about as well, putting who the biggest spender of the day was on the TV. But we did kind of want to let it play out naturally as much as we could. We didn't want to affect it too much. I think it's very important to let things be as natural and organic as possible in the first season. And then after that, you can look back at it and see what you need to tinker with and what you need to play with and what works and what doesn't. Do you know what I mean? What are my thoughts on the inside TikTok accounts that have happened? The whole competition is class. I love the TikTok accounts, man. I love them. I love them. I love them. They've helped the whole thing blow up more. I'm so glad that you lot are so invested in this series. Because when I tell you hours and hours and hours were put into preparing this, I spent hours in the office. Like, I'm barely home these days. That's why I haven't been streaming a lot. I spend all my time in the office working with the team. Price of the products needs to drop, but unlimited spending brings entertainment. The price is high, so it's meant to deter people from spending. And at the same time, if they do spend, it causes drama. I did say that there needs to be less of the shop and a bit more just context in the series, because people's voting isn't purely based around shop spending. It's based around other things that happen in the house. And I think where there's been a lot of focus on the shop, we have missed some of the context to why people have voted for people. Like, for example, you didn't see the Phantom and Joe beach ball drama that happens. And then I can't remember what other stuff there is. There's some other stuff as well. Thank you for supporting the series. Like I said, a lot of work went into this. There's a whole team of people behind us. Like Sidemen isn't just the 7 of us anymore. Like we have a whole team of people who completely rely on us to make a living. And that's why all of our decisions they put all those people into consideration as well. But yeah, they put so much work and effort into the series. They're currently in the office like non-stop trying to make sure that the best stuff is happening for you. So really appreciating you supporting this series and making it a success. Once again, you're allowed to love people, you're allowed to hate people. Just don't send malicious, like look up the word malicious and you understand what I mean. Don't send malicious messages. That's all I ask of you. You can tell people that you don't fuck with what they did. You can call them a dickhead. That's fine. Don't send malicious messages. That's all I'm asking of you.